Hi friends, welcome to Time to Learn TNPSC. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போகிற சாப்டர்னா 7th standard term 1ல வந்து reproduction and modification in plants. Pollination in plants. First வந்து self pollination and next வந்து cross pollination டீட்டெயிலாக பார்க்கலாம். Learning objective என்னென்ன கொடுத்துருக்காங்கன்னா to get a clear idea how a flower become a fruit with seed through pollination and fertilization. Acquire knowledge about the pollination and pollinators. Differentiate self-pollination and cross-pollination in plants. To know the modification of root, stem and leaves. To understand how this modification are useful to animal and human being. இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறது part 1. இதை வந்து நான் 3 பார்ட்டாக பிரித்து போட்டிருக்கேன். இப்போ part 1 பார்க்கலாம். Introduction. Already we know that flowering plants have roots, stem and leaves. They are called vegetative organs. Flower, fruits and seed in a plant are called reproductive organs. In earlier classes, we have seen new plants can be grown from seeds. In this lesson, we are going to know about a flower changes itself into a fruit and the modification of fruit, stem and leaves of a plant. எப்படி ஒரு விதையிலேருந்து ஒரு செடி முளைக்குதுன்னு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. Reproduction. The process by which plants and animals produce young ones and increase their number is known as reproduction. Drumstick tree can be grown from both seeds and stem cutting. When plants reproduce from seeds, we call that process sexual reproduction. All other ways of production without seed are called as asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Seed is produced from a flower, but the process of pollination and fertilization. This is known as sexual reproduction. To understand how seeds are formed in a flower, first we need to understand parts of a flower. ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க parts of the flowers. Collect few buds and open flowers of hibiscus and datura. With the help of your teacher, perform the following steps. Observe and compare bud and open flower of hibiscus and datura. Tabulate the characteristics. Hibiscus flower, bud, open flower, green color, brightly color, sepals, petals. Dissected hibiscus flower, bud, open flower, curled petals, expanded petals, small tube with yellow lobes anthers, expanded tube with yellow lobes anthers. எப்படி டிஃப்ரென்ஷியேட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க முட்டையும் ஓப்பன் ஆன ஃப்ளவரையும் வச்சு. Datura flower, bud, open flower, green color, white color, sepals and petals. Dissected datura flower, bud, open flower, curled petals, expanded petals, small yellow lobes anthers, expanded yellow lobes anthers. In a bud, we can see a green color, leaf-like structure which cover the whole bud or flower. Each of this green color-like structure present as an outermost layer is called as sepal. The outermost ring of sepals is called as calyx. Petals are the largest part of flowers. They are often attractive, brightly colored, sometimes sweet-scented and attract the insects. This ring of petals together is called as corolla. Petal கொடுத்துருக்காங்க முக்கா இருக்கிறப்போ அப்புறம் sepal. Inner to this corolla, in hibiscus, we can observe a long tube on which many stamens are arranged. But in datura, we can see only 5-stalk structure, stamens. This ring or hole of a flower is called androecium. Each stamen consists of 2 parts, a stalk called filament and a lobe called anther. If you touch these lobes in a mature flower, we can get a powdery substance called pollen grains. Male reproductive part. Androecium, male part of the flower. Inner to this androecium hole, we can find a female reproductive part of the flower called gynoecium. We will find this part with a swollen bottom part. This is the ovary. Seeds are produced in this part. On top of the ovary, there is a slender tube-like structure called style. The topmost sticky tip of the style is called stigma. Pollen grains are received by the stigma. This is the 4th hole of a flower. Gynoecium, female reproductive part. oval, ovary, style and stigma. Sexual reproduction in plants. Detail பார்க்கலாம். Types of flowers. Now we shall learn some important terms to understand flowers and their role in reproduction. If all the 4 holes, calyx, corolla, stamens and pistil are present, then it is called as a complete flower. Complete flower or bisexual flowers. If any of these 4 holes is missing, then it is called as an incomplete flower. Incomplete flowers are unisexual flowers. There are 2 types of unisexual flowers, male flower and female flower. The one with androecium and without gynoecium is called as male flower, and the one with gynoecium and without androecium is known as female flowers. These are called unisexual flowers. Bisexual flower and unisexual flower. Pedicel, sepal, ovaries are present. Stigma, style, petal, anther, sepal. In unisexual flower, pedicel, sepal, here ovary, here ovary, here ovaries, here ovary, stigma, style, petal, sepal. Do you know, the sunflower is not a single flower, it is a group of flowers clustered together. A group of flowers arranged together is called inflorescence. Tridacts, procumens looks like a single flower, but is an inflorescence. Leaf juice of this plant is used to cure wounds and cuts. Flower to fruit. To understand how a flower develops into fruit, let us perform an experiment on pumpkin plant. We know from our earlier exploration that flowers of pumpkin are unisexual. That is, some of the flowers are male while many are female flowers. We can easily identify the male and female flower buds of pumpkin even before they bloom. One flower buds appear. Immediately identify 10 female flower buds. Tie a plastic bag around each bud so that no outside material can enter. Ensure to make small holes with a pin to allow airflow. Wait for 2 to 3 days to bloom. Pumpkin இது கொடுத்திருக்காங்க female and male. Choose 3 to 4 male flowers. Pluck the stamens of these flowers and dust the pollen grains in a sheet of paper and collect it. Open 5 out of 10 bags containing female flowers. Brush the collected pollen grains on the stigma with a soft paintbrush. Take care not to damage the stigma. After few days we can see the flower in all bags that were not open at all won't wilt without forming a fruit, while most of the flowers to which pollens have been applied for fruits. The process by which pollen grains reach stigma is called as pollination. The flower that receives pollen grains is called pollinated flower, while the one that did not receive pollen grains is called as unpollinated flower. To be continued in second part. Please subscribe. Thank you.